Our next speaker traveled all the way from America to be with us here today. Brother Mohamud Geeldoon has a BA, an MA in physics, and an MS in medical physics, all from Columbia University in New York City. He currently works as a medical physicist and radiation safety officer in St. Vincent Hospital, located in Wisconsin. He has worked in many major hospitals throughout the United States as a medical physicist, including Mount Sinai Hospital, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, and Beth Israel Hospital, to name a few. He has always had a passion for Islam and the sciences. He is also a writer, authoring his novel, The Yibr of Las Burgabo. A man of such success and talent, we are honored to have him here today. Please welcome our respected brother, Mohamud Geeldoon.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear friend, Muhammad Sheikh Ahmed Dalmar, praised me, and while I have, the appreciation and respect are mutual, today I choose to start talking about someone that's better than both of us. I'm starting with a short story. I like stories. This grand occasion reminds me of the story of a little boy. Over a century ago, at a time of conflict, drought and disease, a boy was born somewhere near the town of Arigabo, the capital of Somalia's Senag region. At 3 years of age, the boy lost his father. At 5, he lost his mother. Of brothers and sisters, he had none. Thrown into the unknown at a time of much turbulence, the little boy, the little orphan, began a wandering life befitting his given name, Dalmar, which literally means the rover, the wanderer, the one that travels a lot. The next decade or so of his life was a remarkable story, remarkable struggle for survival, worthy of a Charles Dickens pen. Then one day at the age of 17, divine inspiration steered him into an Islamic madrasa where a great Quranic teacher took him in as a student. For the first time in his young life, Dalmar was able to hold a wooden board and read Alif, Ba, Ta, a momentous awakening. Therein grew and grew strong an enduring cordial bond between child and teacher. Therein began a lifelong passion for learning, a lifelong passion for learning, a lifelong passion for learning. From the storm of an early life, a different man emerged, a man with a purpose and a deep sense of life. Young Dalmar turned into a veritable Islamic scholar and political activist against British colonial occupation. In the 1940s, he was detained for 9 months for political activism. After Somalia's independence, he became a member of Somalia's first parliament. Most enduring of his achievements, however, is the highly respected family he raised with his one wife, 7 boys and 3 girls, some of whom continue to uphold and spread the teachings of their great father. Such is the power of learning, such is the power of courage, such is the power of faith. I saw Sheikh Dalmar, and by the way, he was given the added name Ahmed by his great Quranic teacher. I saw Sheikh Dalmar, but we knew him as Sheikh Dalmar. I saw Sheikh Dalmar once, only once, close to 5 decades ago, but I knew a few of his children. Today, here in Ottawa, And at your school, it's my pleasure to be on the same stage as the 8th child of this great man, your principal and my friend and classmate of 10 years, Muhammad Sheikh Ahmed Dalmar. Stories of the past are not just for enjoyment or entertainment. They place us in history. They provide us with a sense of belonging, a connection with the past, and a sense of where we are going and what we are about. They tell us we are part of a whole that extends in space and time, past, present, and future. They help define our mission in life, and they instill in us a commitment to hold firmly the torch passed to us by earlier generations and pass it safely to future generations. I have not brought up the story of Sheikh Dalmar, of a Sheikh Dalmar, to make a particular person, no matter how dear, happy. Nor have I brought it up because just because it is a story I very much admire. I have brought it up rather to remind everyone here today that we stand on shoulders. We stand on shoulders. Some broad and strong, some frail and sickly. Shoulders that even after death continue to hold us high, hold us high, hold us high. And so today, I call on all of us to pay tribute to our parents and their parents, and all the people that have made your achievement of today possible. Even though you may not know how much it took to get you to this point, and I'm talking to you, even though you may not know how much it took to get you to this point, you ought to know that behind each of your gleaming faces, your joyful hearts, and your craving minds is a unique and remarkable story of endurance, fortitude, survival, and perhaps tragedies and triumphs. Behind each of your beaming faces is a glorious story, which one day you may write down, and turn into a book. Now is your time, your chance, your turn to add a golden chapter to that remarkable story of your family. Today, we celebrate your great achievement. Tomorrow, you will get to work. Most of you, I hope, will go to college. And when I say a college, I mean in the American sense. I know here they make a distinction between college and university. You will go to college. Some may choose to join the workforce. To those of you that will enroll in college, you have in front of you a few years of dedication and hard work. Stay focused, be organized, always have a plan, start tasks early. If you are a procrastinator, a storm of tasks and tests will overwhelm you. Natural intelligence can take you only so far. If you do not put in the effort, you sink. Thomas Edison had it right. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Persistent and deliberate work is the one thing that all people great in their respective trades have in common. LeBron James knows all about basketball, yet he practices time and again. Practice makes perfect. Even the deepest understanding of the material you are being tested on is not enough. Remember, you are not tested on just how broad or how deep your knowledge of the material you have been taught. You are also tested on how fast you can get the answer to solve a math, physics, or chemistry problem. If to prepare for a test, you are required to read chapters in a textbook, read them again and again. If a test requires problem solving, redo the examples and homework exercises again and again, just like Michael Jordan shooting a ball again and again. If you face the challenge in a dedicated and organized fashion, the experience can be fun, especially if you get an A. If you get an A next time too. If you get a B, get an A next time. If you get a C, get an A next time. If God forbid you get a D or an F, get off the floor and get an A next time. No matter what your ability, and it's always more than you suppose. Remember that. It's always more than you suppose. Your ability is always more than you suppose. However daunting the challenge or long the hours through thick and thin, excellence must remain your goal. Excellence must remain your goal. Excellence must remain your goal. To those of you who do not plan to go to college, I strongly urge you to learn a trade and earn a certificate. If you choose to work, and there can be good and compelling reasons why some of you may take that route, be good at it. Continually improve your skills. Be honest, help others, take the initiative to fix problems, stay away from gossip and internal disputes, be friendly, have a good working relationship with all around you. To all of you, some reflection. These are hard times. Your hearts and your minds are under relentless assault. Many, if not all of you, have roots in lands that once shone bright, but lately fell into a hole of darkness and bloodshed. You may have lost dear relatives in senseless conflict. You may have come to Canada as refugees. Maybe your parents are bitter and you have inherited some of that bitterness. Maybe you are subjected to a barrage of video clips on social media, clips that show Muslims being slaughtered or driven from their homes, and barrage of messages, some hidden, some subliminal, some not so hidden, that exhort you to take action and join those that pervert Islam and commit acts of terror. Maybe you know some that have joined them and perished in what they thought would be martyrdom. Maybe you feel hurt and alienated when powerful men, some leading powerful democratic nations, men who should know better, fan the flames of hate and bigotry against your kind. Maybe you see the likes of the Ku Klux Klan south of the border flexing its muscles and marching and rising. And you wonder, and yet, my trust is firm in human goodness. And my trust is firm that you will see and be attracted to that which is good. Take heart in the firm belief that you belong to something big and good. You belong to a religion of peace, moderation, and tolerance. You belong to a culture of poetry and intimate appreciation of nature, a culture of rich poetry and intimate appreciation of nature, a culture of valor and chivalry, a culture of honor, honesty, hospitality, and simplicity of life. You belong to a nation, Canada, which when tired Muslim women and children with valid visas were turned away at US airports, rose to show its pure heart and opened its doors to the innocent victims of war. You belong to Canada, the nation that accepted you or your parents as immigrants, housed you, fed you, and educated you. Remember, many of us are from pastoral, nomadic culture where gratitude for kindness is passed on from parent to child, generation to generation. We never forget. Still, there is more, much more. You belong to the wider human community. See yourselves as citizens of the world. Advocate for that which is good for the world. Be a voice for peace, a voice for the poor and the disadvantaged, a voice for social justice and human welfare, a voice for dignity, a voice for human rights everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. A voice for liberty and equality, a voice for planet Earth. And you belong to one another. Stay in touch, encourage one another, comfort one another, exchange information, lift each other up. You are a product of history. You are a product of a great history. You must not shy away from your history. Read and immerse yourself in your history. Never forget your roots. We look to the past not to shrink from the future. We look to the past to shape our future. And you are the rising generation. I see possibilities, the boundless heart, the daring spirit, the restless soul, the craving mind, the scent of rose, the vim and vigor. Believe in yourself. Think, listen, read a lot. Express yourself in your faith, your passion, and your humanity. Bring out the best in you. And always remember, if that little orphan of Senag could turn his life around without guidance or guardianship, you with your parents, your community, your nation, and all the resources at your disposal can do even better and attain great heights. May God bless you. Thank you. Yeah.